What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Michelle Renee from IamMichelleRenee.com, and I am so elated to have some truly phenomenal women here with me tonight. My Frezzo and her beautiful wife. We are so excited to welcome you to MichelleRenee.com. Introduce yourselves. Tell us where you are, where you're from, and what your brand is.
Okay. My name is Sheena Hansbrough, and my brand is Hansy, and also part of Kayla Claire Photography. The Hansy is a clothing brand that is completely handmade crochet. I learned from my grandmother, which is what inspired that. And Kayla Claire Photography was actually something that we both talked about in the very beginning of our relationship. We talked about what our ventures were going to be like. What was it that was our dream? And her dream was to travel and take pictures. And so I kept talking about it. She kept talking about it. And from there, of course, she has to dibble and dabble and see and be like, hold on, let me find out, test the waters, see how she felt with it. And creatively, we were able to birth something beautiful.
Absolutely. Tell us who you are, Frezzo.
All right. So I am Kandyce Hansbrough, one half of Kayla Claire Photography and sole owner of Candid Art, which is a project that started during COVID because I couldn't take pictures. And my friends, I was rocking one of my hoodies with my art on it. Also want to shout out Salt by Nadia, our friend that has the salt bowls. That's where the beautiful lips came from. And and we bought some sage from them as well. So they have a company called Sal by Nadia, and also Alter Egotistic. So guys, look them up on IG. Black owned, Black women, LGBTQ. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta shout my family out because without them, that picture wouldn't have been possible. So
that's right. And I love it because I didn't just get the sweatshirt. The sweatshirt was but I got the print, baby. Yes. The print. Listen, that's what I signed up for. This is when I saw it for the very first time. I was like, that is so dope. I was probably like, Frezzo, that is so dope. Oh my God.
I fell in love with just art all over again. And that was one of the first pictures I think I took a photo of because I couldn't shoot people.
Yeah.
Like
we even did like a fire series, I remember.
Little fires everywhere. Because I watched the series with so I have a thing for Kerry Washington, like absolutely love her. When she and I were dating, she used to send me pictures of Kerry Washington in the morning and be like, good morning. And I'm like, I love this girl. Like, she lets me have my guilty pleasure. Yes.
That's how it's supposed to be. I love that. I love
her crying face, underbiting. Oh, y'all better leave my baby alone. She out here, doing big things with that little distressed face.
Distraught.
It is. She plays distraught. So her and TT from Set It Off.
Yes. Elise Neal. She does. I love it. Listen, okay, let me give y'all a quick background. I call Kandyce Frezzo because she's my best friend's cousin. So she's like my cousin, but she's my friend. So she's my Frezzo.
And now she's like my sister.
And now she's like she is my sister.
Right.
But Frezzo, we started Frezzo
like the first time we met each other. Yep.
Yes. And it stuck. I was like, because I was thinking the other day, I was like, how in the world did we come up with Frezzo?
We never let it go. We never let it go. No. It's been consistent.
It is very consistent. I absolutely love that. It's been so amazing. So Sheena, you talked a little bit about how you got started with Hansy, which I love that. I love that that's something that your grandmother gifted.
This is Hansy, by the way, y'all.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
I'm
gonna need me some like one of the little tops or something like that.
She made a specialized Hansy Delta beanie for a friend of ours, and it's beautiful. I'll have to find a picture of it while y'all are talking because it's cute.
You already know I need that in my life.
I'm about to look for it while y'all talking.
So tell me what made you say, let me not just take what my grandmother taught me, but let me incorporate it into something that could really brand itself and be branded through me. What made you take the next step to make it a business?
Honestly, it was pushed by peers. by family and friends. Um, I appreciated the push because I am not the type of person that will take my own initiative to do those types of things. Just because there's to me, it feels like there's so many people in the creative industry where so many people doing hair, so many people, even now crocheting. I didn't realize there was so many people crocheting, but it is a lot,
Yeah.
especially Black women. It is a beautiful world, and the Black
Yes, it is.
crochet fashion. My goodness, when I tell you the work, the beauty, the color, just the vision that these women have. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, do I have that vision? Like, is that
Oh,
like is
you
that
got it.
something, you know what I'm saying, that I have?
Yeah.
So a lot of times I'll question it. But honestly, like would not have been for my wife and my friends, like Alyssa and Mel, they have literally pushed like she actually asked me to do a custom Puerto Rican bathing suit.
Oh,
And I was
wow.
going to be like, okay, so I can do the color scheme, but outside of that, I don't know about that. And she was saying,
That
I need
is fire.
something. Thank
Oh
you.
my gosh.
Thank you. But
Wow.
she insisted on something, keeping like a star or something to make sure that
Yeah.
it looked Puerto Rican. And I was sun go ho like, no ma'am, like I don't know if I can do that. Like, no. That was my first
Do you
time
think
doing
as Black
a
women,
star.
that's something that we encompass a lot? We're feeling like there's this doubt in because maybe a field is saturated, or because we're like, you know what, it's a lot of people doing that. I can't do it. Like, is that something that you find to be a little more rampant among us, to where we're like, nah, I'm not gonna even dabble in that
I
because
think it's
it's way too
learned.
many.
It's
It's
learned
learned.
because I'm now in the process of unlearning that.
Absolutely.
Being taught that just because it's an art form or because it requires creativity doesn't mean that you can't make a living doing the things that you love.
That's
One
right.
of the things that was pushed when I was a child was, if it's not medicine, if it's not something that everyone is going to need, that it's not important. But that's not the case. That art carries our story through years, centuries. Art is what tells our story, not
Yeah.
necessarily government, not necessarily any of those things. It's always written text or art pieces that you see that's carved or painted.
That's right.
So those things have become so important to me, and not even just for my family. Like Dave even comes to, I didn't know that crocheting was something that my grandma did until she showed it to me. That was just her side hustle. That was something that she did on the side, doing baby blankets, doing blankets for the elderly. That was her side thing.
Yeah.
But they were beautiful. Like, could
Yeah.
have been put in stores. They were so
Right.
beautiful to me.
Right. I
So
love that
just
you called it
learn.
a learned behavior,
It
because
is.
that's we as Black women gotta unlearn a lot of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
we have to unlearn that we aren't deserving of rest. Like, we have to rest
Yeah.
too,
Ooh,
because
Yeah.
that's something that we've been kind of programmed to think, that if you're not productive, if you're not doing this or that, then you're not, maximizing what you're supposed to be doing. No, we need to lay down and rest sometimes too, because we've been going hard for as long as the earth has been turning and as long as the sun has been shining on it.
Yeah.
you said
So
mouthful.
absolutely, absolutely. Candace, tell me a little bit about your background and how you got into photography and then artistry, because your photography is art, but you push it to another level when you got into the next phase of it. So tell me a little bit about that.
Phew. So the photography part, I've just always been somebody that liked pictures. Like my mom has boxes and bins of
Yeah,
pictures and
yeah.
pictures and pictures. So I've always wanted to document moments that I felt like needed to last forever. And then also it was a way to tell my story. It was a way to tell stories. It's a way to look back. Like you don't realize how important pictures are until that's all you have left.
Oh
And
gosh, you said a
especially with
mouthful.
but like with this last year, like think about how many people lost loved ones and how dependent are we on pictures and videos, voicemails.
Mhm.
It's everything.
It's
It's
tangible.
everything.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's like
gosh.
tangible time that you hold in your hand for things
Yeah.
that you don't want to lose or let go of. And so I've always been interested in taking pictures and capturing those moments. Well, when I got to college, I wanted to be a little independent, so I started working at Walmart. Well, ended up in the photo lab actually developing film because MTSU, where I went to college, it's a big recording industry school. So everybody had headshots and album covers and all these things. And I would sit there as I'm developing pictures and I'm like, that could have been so much better if they had done this. Or maybe if they had angled it here, you know? So I'm like,
right. You got the whole photo edit critique going on, like,
yes,
I could have did this way better.
Yeah, and it was in my head, like, I feel like I could have just done this like differently. So I think one of the first times I remember, first couple of times really using my camera, like one, I took my friend's maternity pictures with a camera phone because I had just started working at Verizon, had a dope new little camera phone because I worked in tech support and we got all the coolest devices so we could test them out. I did her maternity shoot on my phone and she was like, yo, I love these pictures, these are so awesome. And now that I look at them, they were terrible. Like the quality of them or whatever, they were terrible. But I mean, they were as close to probably like a film camera, you know, it was like the first digital type setup. So then after that, I went to my friend's wedding. And now that I'm a photographer, I hate these kind of people, right?
Oh God.
So I remember seeing moments that I felt like he was missing. Yeah. And I took my phone and I started taking pictures. I'm a Pisces, right? I go with the moment. I don't really think it through all the time. I just, wherever the universe takes me, I'm like, let's ride, you know?
Let's go. We going.
I started taking pictures at her wedding. And what happened was the photographer started following me. And he started taking the shots that I was taking. So when I gave my god sister her picture, she was like, are you serious? Like, you took these on a camera phone. These are better than some of the pictures I got from my wedding. And one of our other friends was like, yo, that's your calling. You need to do that. Nope, got wrapped up in corporate. Didn't. And I was like, I'm not paying that for a camera. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, who pays that for a camera? Right? Like, I'm a broke college student. You talking about $298 and my check at Walmart only be $500. So
right, I would pay my whole check. Nah,
right. I'm not gonna be able to
nah.
I cannot afford Zaxby's to take pictures. So I was like, no. But I had a surgery, and a really good friend of mine bought me a camera as a gift. And because my doctor was like, you need to get up and go outside and go walk. And I was kind of depressed. Like, I had endometriosis, so they removed some fibroids with a myomectomy. You know, it messes with your hormone levels and you know, it like, so as a woman, you know, it just goes crazy, right? Your body, your hormones all over the place. So I'm like in the house. I know Sheena was like, please get this girl out of the house. I don't care what you got to do. Drag her by her toenails. Like, get her out of here before I go crazy. So she bought me a camera. Sheena bought me some new shoes. So they like hyped it up, right? And so we had a park that was near our house. And I went and started taking pictures. And I posted the pictures that I took, and people started hitting me up like, do you take pictures professionally? And I was like, no, I don't take pictures professionally. And my first photo shoot, it was like 2 hours. I did the joint for $35.
Wow, you gave it away.
But
gave it away.
Still, some of my favorite pictures to this day is a maternity shoot. She has a beautiful little boy. I did his first month pictures. She's pregnant with a little girl now. We did her announcements, and we're gonna do her maternity shoot coming up. So I mean, she's like family now. So it's But she was my first serious photo shoot, and she was a friend of mine. And so, as y'all know, like COVID hit, right?
Yeah.
We were in Cuba celebrating my birthday. My birthday was a week ago. So we were in Cuba having an amazing time. Mm-hmm. 2 little Norwegian girls were staying at the same Airbnb we were staying in. They were like, we got to go back home. They're about to close the borders. I'm like, why are y'all spazzing? Like, this is not even that serious. Like, we would have known if it was that serious. So we started getting alerts from Airbnb like, oh, you can cancel your excursions. And we were just like, so is this serious? So we were in Cuba for 7 days. So I get home. The first thing I get when I land is my manager saying, hey, call me. And he goes, you're going to work from home, keep work, because I was already working from home. He was like, I'm extending your work from home project. He goes, we're just going to be at home for a couple of weeks, right?
Right. We all thought that, right?
75 days, I did not go past my mailbox. For 75 days, I stayed at home. And for someone that travels for a living and does photography, to be confined to a space with no outlet, Candid was born because I had to find something to do.
Yeah.
So that's why you saw the pictures with the fires, like little fires everywhere. I started watching that series. Absolutely loved it. One of my clients sent me a video of Jason Derulo like holding fire in his hand. I didn't think it would be a good idea to try it on a person first. So I said, let me just try it in some glass or something and kind of figure it out. And then I figured out that these flames were beautiful.
Yes.
And they just started to just like, every time you fan the flame, it would take a different shape. And I found out actually that flame reading is the thing the Native Americans do. Never knew that, like didn't even know it was a thing. It's pyro art. People are like into it, never knew it. But I started to do that. And then after a while, I got bored with not being able to like photograph subjects. And I felt like the fires, I was like, there's only so many fire creations I can do. Like I want to do something different. So then I started to combine my photography with art. I always sketched. I loved art. My mom loved the arts, but not that kind of art. Like when I was younger, she put me in tap and ballet and I had to be in band. So all the things that you want your little girls to be, ballerinas and princesses and fairies, and I just wanted to paint, you know what I mean? Like, so my mom goes, you never said, and I was like, well, I didn't really want to bother you with it, but it was
you already spent all this money on all this other stuff, so I'm just gonna hang out over here.
Like, I know those tap shoes are dope, but I'd much rather you buy me some 50-cent paint and just let me be. Yeah, my mom wouldn't go for that at all. Like she had this whole vision of what her only girl, her baby, was gonna be. So it took me a little bit, had to move on to figure that out. But once I was able to start to create, like she's so supportive. Like I did one picture with some old leftover paint that we were using for something else. And she just kept buying like bottles of paint. She's like, you should use this color and you should try this. And so then
I love that subtle nudge.
She would. It was just like, babe, have you ever tried to do this? And And so I would start doing stuff, and she would want every painting that I did. Like forever. I couldn't sell anything. She was like, I want to keep that. And she literally does have everything framed. And she has it like in the bedroom put up. So she was serious about it. But then people would come over and go, where did you get that?
Yeah.
Like, where you get that from? And I'm like, I was bored and I made it. And they let me buy this from you. And she was like, no, it's not for sale.
You can't have this. She gonna make you something else. You can't have it.
Right.
That's not what we're doing.
She make you something like that, but so
I
would have to like do stuff and then pull it out while people are there, so she wouldn't be able to say no, they couldn't have it. Yeah. But she had seen it. So that's kind of how it came about. And as you know, like the art piece morphed into hoodies. I wear so many hoodies, and never in my life did it ever occur to me that I would like to create them.
Yeah. It makes perfect sense. Because in this case, you can get high on your own supply.
That's true. Yeah.
Like it's perfect.
Now, like anything I can dream of, I just come downstairs and make it.
That is such a good feeling. That's the epitome of what a creative is and what we like to see with fostering just creativity. That's what it's supposed to be about. And you really y'all hit on everything I was going to ask about, like the pandemic, how it affected you, what happened, how it was birthed. But you just hit on something major about support, and every person needs that. Like when you want to do something new or different, or when you want to follow a passion, there's nothing more powerful than having someone that you love and care about be there to say, you should do this. Or, you know what if you tried this? Or just providing you with the support or even the tools, the means to be able to do it. That's so critical. So we have to deep dive for a second into your love, because we were talking before we started recording about just how powerful it is to go through the journey of love. And I told you all how much you all inspire me and that I've loved y'all from the beginning. Um, because it's just, I watched two people genuinely love each other. And we see so many toxic representations of what love is supposed to be. And I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't want that kind of love. That's never been the love that I craved or desired. I love the idea of being loved wholeheartedly and having a person who truly has my back and, you know, is going to love me in a genuine and supportive way and not this way where they feel like they have to be dominant over me. Right. Yeah. But I look at you all and I see this person or these people loving each other and supporting each other and hyping each other up. I looked at the photo shoot Sheena did a few weeks ago, and I could read the description and hear Candyce like hyping her up. I was like, I love this. The whole time.
Exactly
the whole time. It's just straight hype. And it's not a hype, I'm gonna hype you up so you could be hyped, but it's like, no, I'm hyping you up because I love you. You're so dope. Like everything about you deserves this. It's so it's just that. It's that dope. So tell us how you were able to get to this place. We want to know the secrets. Give us the juice. Like, how do we get this? And y'all don't get it twisted. Y'all know I love my husband. That is my person. That's my boo. He do be getting on my nerves, but we're not gonna get up in it today. But that's my dude. That's my person. But I know for us, like he and I are like 15 years in the making of friendship, 7 years of being like back together, coming up on 6 years married. All of that is a journey.
Yeah.
That whole thing is a journey. So tell us a little bit about your journey.
It wasn't always easy.
It never is.
Like we were that toxic relationship for a while.
Yeah.
Like we were very toxic for each other. When we met, we were both going through, I would say it was grief on both ends of things, because I lost my dad physically, like in the flesh, like he passed away, but she was also losing her family because she came out.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
I remember.
So
I think we connected on that.
Yeah,
like, it was almost
like a trauma bond at first.
Yeah. And that's hard. How do you overcome that piece? Because people don't need to get it twisted. A lot of us are connected through trauma bonds.
Yeah.
Like I want to say, I'm not a sociologist, so I can't give you a percentage, but it's a lot. It's a lot of percentage.
Yeah.
Like a large percentage of the people that we end up falling in love with or being with in this long-term type relationship is as a result of a trauma bond. But how did you all grow past that? Because y'all have done through and gone through so much. I know, Sheena, you went into the military. Kandyce, you've been sick. Like all these different things that will, for weaker relationships, will end it. It would make you
like it literally almost ended us. Like in 2017, I moved back to Atlanta and Sheena was in Virginia. We separated.
Wow.
But it was in that time independently that I realized that we had some unhealthy connections to each other. She realized it too. It was a space that we both needed to grow.
Yeah.
And so us being apart, the only agreement was we weren't going to involve anybody else in our bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like, I ain't trying to date nobody else. And mentally, I couldn't have anyway. Like I literally would have destroyed somebody's life for zero reason, completely unnecessarily. But that takes, some self-awareness and
maturity.
Standing firm on like, whether Sheena's here or not, I can't rock with anybody or anything else because I'm not in the headspace to do so. But it took us like really getting to a place of almost losing each other to realize what we had in each other. And it literally came down to the point I remember calling her and I was like, listen, if I open my door October 27th and you're there, cool. And if I open my door and you're not there, cool. Like I had come to a peace with it. Yeah. And she was like, I gotta take my ass home. She's tripping. Like
she has really lost her mind.
She was like, no. And it was
crazy. Know what though, Fruzzo, like so many people have misconceptions about like relationships, same-sex relationship. They think that you all don't go through the same things as heterosexual relationships. And I think that's very ignorant and naive. That's a crazy misconception, right?
Insane.
Let me tell you why it's even more insane, because we were talking before before we started recording about all relationships and just the weight that they have in general. And so when people try to focus on the sexual part of the relationship, they forget that there's a relationship that is at the basis, the foundation of it. And so a lot of times we forget that before these people became lovers or spouses or anything, they had to first be friends.
Yeah.
And what it sounds like is you guys had to nurture a friendship and repair a friendship that was like built in a certain way. And it was like, okay, well, we're trying to take down the constructs of this relationship so it could be better. But people will forget that. And I think a lot of it is willful ignorance. I want to be ignorant about this, so I'm going to choose to be ignorant about it. I'm not going to honor or value this for what it is, which is a relationship. But when you see that, like, I look at it and I'm like, I think that's what, like, I didn't know the full details of what you all had been through. But what I didn't know is I saw you fighting.
Yeah.
I saw you fighting to still be there for one another. I saw you fighting for this relationship, right? And it's like, if you got the fight in you, if both people are fighting, that means that both people want to be there. If both people are working toward that, both people want to be there. Fruzzo used to share this Bob Marley quote like all the time. I cannot think of it to save my life, but it has to do with like loving people in relationships and finding a person that is going to love you and that you could love like through everything. I know you know what I'm talking about. Because I know you love Bob Marley. That's our person.
Dude, it pretty much says like that everybody is going to have like baggage or, you know, like a situation, but there's going to be that one person that you don't mind like going through that and fighting for. And I firmly believe that. Like, Sheena was my first living girlfriend. She's really the true time that I came out to my family.
Yeah.
It was like understood.
Yeah.
Like me and my parents had the conversation probably like 15 years before that, but it just kind of went away. Like we just talk about it.
If we don't talk about it, it's not real. I'm close my eyes.
Right. You already know.
I don't know if that's a Mississippi parent thing or if that's just a parent thing. I think it's a Southern parent thing.
Asked me if I was dating anybody. It was none of those questions. It was just when I was home, it was career. And
we're not gonna talk about it because if we don't talk about it, it ain't real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
My mom finally, like, I think it really got real for her when she came out for Thanksgiving and Sheena was with me and I was like, yes, my girlfriend, we live together. I never lived with anybody, never wanted to live with anybody. Our relationship moved so fast, which is why I feel like we almost came to an end when we did.
Yeah.
But it took some time. But the thing is, like, I've never had someone fight as hard for me as she fought for me. I've never had someone love my family. Like I
remember her going to stay with your mom.
Stay with my mom for 6 months. Like my mom is a handful. She's a Taurus and very stubborn and very Mississippian. Okay.
Very Southern Baptist.
Yes. To the core. You hear me?
To the core.
So she survived that for 6 months and she still wanted to be with me. And my brother was like, yo, I had gone to Missouri to watch my nephew play football. And we're outside. And he like steps on my running boards because she had put running boards on my truck for me. He was like, you know, I don't usually say much because he doesn't. He's never spoken on like any parts of my life. He just doesn't.
Yeah.
He's just a cool brother. Like you can tell him whatever, but he's not gonna have much, you know.
Yeah.
So he was like, you know, I'm gonna only tell you this one time. If you let her get away, you're stupid.
And that's that. Big brother said it.
Like, what you talking about? I'm stupid.
Favorite and only.
Yeah. He said you're stupid if you let her get away.
But he spoke the truth.
All that he said, like we didn't have an extended conversation. He didn't ask me for a follow-up of how I felt. He said what he said, and he left me standing outside with my face like, because I didn't expect it from him.
Yeah.
He was the last person that would have said anything to me.
But sometimes that's exactly how we need that message. It's from the person we least expect it from, because then it hits you different and it makes you think like, so he sees it too.
Yeah.
because sometimes we'll have that note and we know things and we're like, nah, that's just me. I'm trying to project this. Or I'm pretending I'm making this up. But then when somebody hits you in the head with a softball with it, it's like, oh, okay, that's for real. That's for real.
People will always meet her and say, that's your one. You guys are going to get married. I was like, I don't even believe in marriage. So y'all can calm down.
I said that. I was like,
you did say that. And I was like, probably not.
You were like, what? I mean, I like her. I was like, I'm telling you.
You telling you, I was like, gay people can't even get married.
I said, friend, first of all, I was like, I don't know. I think I might have said something a little profound to the point was like, why do you need somebody else to give you permission?
That's exactly what she said.
To love who you want to love.
Because I was even nervous about really telling y'all I was even gay. I was like, I don't even know about this whole situation. I'm like, I don't know these girls like this. Like, and like, we just connected. Like, we did. Yeah. Michelle just connected. Like, it was like 8 of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was Shell and Clea. I was like, I don't know what it was about the two of them, but we like since then it's been like just
listen. I walked away from that, and I was just, for me, it's always been very inspiring because people are afraid to live out loud and to be themselves, right? And so, I think that for a person to walk unapologetically, knowing that they may be rejected, ridiculed, mistreated, discriminated against is really powerful because you are making the choice to say, I'm going to be me regardless of what you think about me. And Sheena, I'm even more proud of you because I know how hard that has been for you, to say, I have to live the life that I'm most free living. And I deserve love. And I've got somebody who loves me. Why wouldn't you love me back or love me in a way to say I accept your love? And so it's really, it does something to me because I was already crying earlier. I'm not gonna cry right now. But it does something to me because I really believe that every person deserves love. And they deserve a love that they can, scream from the mountaintop and they can be, proud of and excited about. And it shouldn't come with all these asterisks and all these other things. Like when I said that, 15 something years ago, Frezzo, like it was a long time ago. When I said it, like I mean it, like who can tell you how to love somebody or who you can love? Like don't nobody run you. You love who you gonna love, baby.
Like,
do that. Like do that. And meant every word of it. So, and I still do. So I think that's really powerful, but I love that, one, you two have been unapologetic in the journey, but that you also have been real because people think that marriage as a whole is like, I don't know why they think when you get married, all of a sudden it becomes easy. That shit is the hardest thing on earth. You gotta be with somebody every day and make a commitment to not mistreat them even when they get on your nerves.
No. People don't understand. Like I don't know. My concept of marriage was different, I think. And now it irks me when people are like, well, it's like we're married. I'm like, no, it's not. It's absolutely not like you're married. It's nothing like being married or being married. You ain't never wanted to leave somebody in your life and be like, how much is going to cost me?
Right.
How long?
Let me calculate what this going to cost me if I walk out right now.
Like, seriously, people like to have to truly consider someone in totality. You don't get to say, oh, I got my dream job across the country. I'm about to leave. Bada bing, bada boom. About to break this lease. I'm out. No, that's not how any of this goes.
It's a real point of selflessness.
Yeah.
And you have to consider somebody else. And that's a conversation my husband and I have all the time because it's a hard space to be in, to consider somebody all the time. And it's a hard space to put somebody in, to have them to consider you all the time. Mm-hmm. So I understand that on a whole different level, but at the same time, I'm like you. I also feel like each marriage is its own.
Yes.
Like there is no blueprint. Nope. I don't care what anybody tells you or has tried to tell you. None of that matters. It don't work for you. I'm like, hey, auntie, thank you for your 40-year advice. Yeah, that don't work for us. It ain't gonna work. Like No. But I think being able to say that we've worked and we're getting to this place and overcoming obstacles, like you all have overcome a lot. And there are life is hills and valleys, ebbs and flow. Like you're gonna constantly be going through them. It's gonna constantly be something. Some years it'll be much easier. And then other years you'll be like, oh my God, like how do we even look back and survive this? Because it was totally crazy.
Yeah.
And as time is passing, you'll be like, wow, we how many years into this at this point?
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a whole lot. So I love y'all, and I'm so beyond proud of the two of you. I'm proud of what you're doing. What upcoming projects do you guys have happening now? What's going on now that even though we're still in COVID, in the pandemic, we're still experiencing that. But we do have a vaccine. We've got some restrictions that are being lifted. Where are you guys going with these businesses here in 2021?
I know for Hansy that it's not really going to change too much, just so that I'm able to still maintain a work-life balance. Because honestly, first and foremost, I'm a homemaker. Like I make our house a home,
Right.
and then it's everything else. And making our house what it is important to me. When people walk in our house, they feel a sense of like uplifting. Like they feel better when they come in our house, and though that is very important to both of us, and
Absolutely.
I want to maintain that. That absolutely does pour over into Hansy a lot. Coming up is spring, summer. So of course the bikinis are coming out, the crop tops, the skirts, the dresses. So probably at the end of April, you will see some new pieces coming out that will be available. But for the most part, we'll be probably teaming and trying to brainstorm and see what's going to be going on with Kayla Claire photography, especially going on into the pandemic and working around that. It's been actually fairly easy working through it. Our customers have been very supportive of what we ask them to do, maintaining masks, maintaining 6 feet, the whole 9 yards. It hasn't really been a struggle for us to still work and fully function. So I really don't see that stopping anything anytime soon.
I love it. I love it. Tell people how they can find each of those businesses online, or what's the best way to reach you guys.
Well, for Handsy, I only have Facebook, which you can find. It's just Hanzy Handsy, and on Instagram, it's HAN period Z period Y. Yeah.
Got it.
HAN period Z period Y.
Got it.
Instagram. Yes. So those are the two ways that you can see my work, and also put in your inquiry to order.
I'm already dreaming of what I'm going to be asking for, honey, so I can reveal this new body that I'm working on.
Yes. Listen,
yes.
Here for it. Absolutely here for it.
Yes. Tell us how we can find Kayla Claire and Candy Dart.
I feel like this is so long. Hers was so simple, right? So I'll start with the easy one. So Candid Art is Candid. It's Kandyd. Like my name is Candice, KandYce. So it's just a play off my name. And my line name is Candor. So it's kind of like, dual purpose. So Candid, KANDYDART at Candid Art. So that's on IG, and the website for that is the same as candidart.com. And then for Kayla Claire, it's a little longer, but it's K.LeClaire, and that's LECLAIR_photography. So just the traditional spelling, PH, nothing crazy. So
and I will drop all of those names and links in the description below the video, so you have access to that. Listen, I have loved every minute of chatting with you. Y'all make me smile so hard. I get so excited just when I see you, and when I see you doing well, and when I see you healthy, and I see you happy. all of that does something special to me. And I just want you to both know that you always got somebody that has your back, that's thinking of you, that's praying for you, that's praying with you, that's rocking with you and going to support you. So you never have to feel like you're out there in the space alone, because you got family that's rocking with you. But y'all make sure you check out Hansy and Candid Art and Kayla Claire Photography. Hit them up for your custom needs. They are willing to still go and travel. Y'all traveling again to do pictures?
As long as we can drive there. I haven't found the hazmat suit I trust for the plane yet.
Listen, I ain't mad at you.
I would have been in Jamaica already. Like,
I already know it. I already know it. Listen, you guys, make sure you check them out. Follow them on social. Get into it. Anything else you want the people to know before we close out?
This has been dope. And y'all keep following my fruzzo. Stick with her. Keep coming, listening to the interviews. Keep meeting other amazing Black people and keep telling our stories. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. Listen, y'all give me life. So I'm glad to be able to be a platform that highlights dope Black people, because it means so much to me. I got one more question though. This is really important. What is one word, this is for each of you, one word that affirms who you are?
It's gonna be legendary.
I love it. I love it. What about you, Sheena?
For me, Phoenix.
Phoenix? Mm-hmm. Tell me why. I got a feeling why, but tell me
why. Honestly, I can becoming me.
Yeah.
Going from being who I used to be to being what everybody else wanted me to be, to being me.
I love it. I love it. And as you rise from all the ashes, baby, this Phoenix is going to fly so high and so beautifully. I love it. And I love that legendary fruzzo. Tell me why you chose legendary. I know that's part of what your new brand hype is doing. I've been loving those pieces because you know I'm a lioness.
Yes.
The word. So I love it. Tell me about legendary and why that is the word that affirms you.
To be legendary is to be unforgotten, in a sense. It means that you change the world somehow.
Yes.
And if I can impact one person through photography or through art or just through this conversation, then I feel like that's where legendary statuses are achieved, because that's how you live forever. So absolutely. I just want to make the world a little bit of a better place than it was before I got here.
Oh man, I love that. I love that. Y'all check out my people. Go show them some love and make sure you support. You can order art. You can order crochet outfits and custom items. Listen, all of it. They got it for you. Check them out. Support them. Show them some love. And we will check you back next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow, and leave a positive comment, because if you don't leave nothing positive, it will get deleted and you will be blocked. Please believe that. Also, whatever you do, by all means, protect your energy. That's all I got for you tonight. Y'all have a great